great outdoors.
Hi guys, how you doing today? Today we're talking about protein bars and what protein bar should you choose when you're looking at them, because all protein bars are not created equal, so stick around. Okay, so the weather started to warm up. It's actually already almost 60 degrees here in upstate New York. It's a beautiful day, and I thought what I would do is spend some time talking to you about what do you do when you're on the road. And one of my go-to snacks, if you will, or even a meal is a protein bar. But not all protein bars are created equal. And I wanted to give you the top 3 things that you should be doing when you're looking at a protein bar. So we have many on the market, right? There's so many to choose from, but there are some key things that you can use to figure things out. What should you eat? And a lot of this is on you. Had to dig deep. So, you know, we've got your Quest bars. These are some of my favorites, actually. Did I just give that up already? There are Cliff bars, which are pretty popular. The RX bar, which is all natural. And then like the Quest cookie bars and things like that. What do I do when I first look at any kind of protein bar? The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to look at the label. And the first thing I'm going to look at on the label is the nutrition facts, right? Now the first thing I'm going to look at is what kind of protein does it have? So in this case with the RX bar, it only has 12 grams of protein. This Quest cookie has 15 grams of protein. This Quest protein bar has 21 grams of protein, and the Cliff bar has only 9 grams of protein, right? They all sound delicious. The Cliff bar is a chocolate brownie. The Quest bar, I have a chocolate chip cookie dough and a chocolate brownie. And then I have the RX bar, chocolate coconut. Coconut chocolate. And then chocolate chip. Chocolate seems to be a recurring theme for me. So when I look at that, it's like, how much protein do I want for the day? Now, my number 1 protein, why is that important? Well, as you guys know, if you've been through the program so far, you know that the protein is one of the most critical pieces that you have to get in. And you have to get in at least 60 grams for the day. Ooh, I've got to manage my way around a puddle. I have hiking boots on, but it's a little damp. You need at least 60 grams per day, sometimes more, depending on where you are in your program and what your dietitian told you. For me, it's somewhere between 60 and 90. At a minimum, I try to get in at least 60 as my minimum, and then 90 as my max. I tend not to go too much above that. So I'm climbing a hill right now, so forgive me. This is my exercise, and you should be doing that too. And when the weather gets beautiful like this, why not get out in the beautiful woods? Here in upstate New York, we've got some of the best hiking and woods you'd ever want to see. For me, I'm typically looking for 20 grams of protein or more in any kind of quote-unquote meal bar. Now, if I wasn't looking at it as a meal, I would probably go a little lower than that. The protein isn't is critical when you're just using it as a snack because it's part of your overall day's worth of protein. So you want to make sure that you're looking at that to see where do you want to be on that scale, right? Because you have to get in at least 60 grams of protein a day if you've had vertical sleeve surgery or any kind of bariatric surgery. As part of that protein mix, how much do you want these bars to be for your day? And that's something only you can decide. Then for the next piece that you want to look at is the carbohydrate. Now, a lot of people are okay, let me back up. Fat. I personally don't care about fat. I am not a fat chaser. I don't care about it. Whatever fat's in it, the fat is in it. I do care what kind of fat is in it. I do not want a bunch of unnatural saturated oils that are very highly processed. That's me. That's what I don't want. Now, I go for coconut oil. I go for extra virgin olive oil. Not really that concerned about the fat, and I usually don't even look at that count on a bar when I'm looking at it. But what I do look at is the carbs, because carbs equals sugar. That's all there is to it. I mean, the reason, in my humble opinion, and I'm not a nutritionist, so I'm not telling you what to do. However, these are my guidelines. This is what I use to manage my weight. And I'm 6 years out from surgery, and I haven't gained any weight back. I've lost over 100 pounds, and I feel good about that. So you have to make the decision on what you consider your important pieces. For me, I tend to use this guideline: protein first, and then vegetables as my carb. So I don't want to get a ton of carb in one of these and a ton of sugar, because sugar just, you know, it just converts to fat once it's in your body. So I don't eat a lot of carb. So for the Quest cookie, you've got 19 grams of total carb. Then you have 9 grams of dietary fiber. So that leaves 10 grams of carbohydrate. Then you have 6 grams of a faux sugar called erythritol, which I don't mind erythritol, and that's so that brings down your total grams to 4 grams total carb of net carb for this particular item. I wouldn't have a problem with this. The calories are 250 calories. That's a lot. So I would treat this probably more as a meal, since it's 15 grams of protein and 4 grams of carbohydrate, but with 250 calories, I would probably treat this more as a meal rather than a snack. But it depends what your calorie intake is supposed to be for the day. For me, I try to stay with under 1,000 a day. For the RX bar, right, the total calories are 210, and then the total carb 23 grams. It has 5 grams of dietary fiber. So you take that away, that's 18 grams of total so far. And then it has 13 grams of sugar, 12 grams of protein. So protein would be the first one that I look at. Not bad, but not great. The carb count on this is pretty high at an 18 net carb count. For me, this one would probably not be my bar of choice, just due to the high carb content. Let's talk about sugar for a minute and carbohydrates. So, sugar, I watch some YouTubers that say sugar is the devil. His name is Bobby Parrish, I think. He has Flav City. He has a lot of good keto and paleo type content on his YouTube channel. Go check him out. But he calls sugar the devil. And I tend to agree with him. However, there are some faux sugars out there that are also the devil. Sweet and lows, sucralose, maltitol, which will send you to the bathroom faster than a laxative, okay? I try to keep my carbs under 50 a day, and that's an arbitrary number. It's just what I do. So you choose, you do you. I'm just giving suggestions and tips and tricks that I use. So this Quest bar here has 200 calories. So that's already less than the RX bar, and it's less than the Quest cookie. It has 200 calories, it has 21 grams of total carb. It has 14 grams of fiber. So now you're talking 7 grams of carb, net carb, less 3 grams of erythritol. So this also has 4 grams of carbohydrate, and then it has 21 grams of protein. So this, to me, is the best one so far. Then this Cliff Bar. Check out the Cliff Bar. The Cliff Bar has 250 calories, so it matches this cookie, right? But it also has total carb, 44 grams of carbohydrates. 44 grams of carbohydrates. That's the total carb count. Take out the fiber, which is 4 grams of fiber. Now you have 40 grams of carbohydrate, and then it has 3 grams of fiber. It has no artificial sugar. It has 20 grams of added sugar. And it has 9 grams of protein. So it has barely any protein in it and a ton of sugar. So this is not an ideal bar for me to eat, and I would suggest that you not eat them either. These taste delicious. I'll be the first person to admit that. but it's not a good one. So the first thing you look at is protein. Second thing you look at is carb count. Third thing that I want you to look at is the ingredients. What is in these bars, okay, that create that combination of pieces? So when you look at the Quest cookie, it has a protein blend. It has buttercream. It says it has a milk protein isolate, whey protein isolate. So it has a whey protein isolate, which is what they tell us in the programs to have. It has buttercream, natural flavor, corn fiber. So that's going to add to its sugar content. Erythritol, which is a fake one. Palm oil. Palm oil isn't something that I really want to put in my body because of how processed it is and the way that they process it. Unsweetened cocoa, water, calcium, natural flavors, cocoa butter. You don't know the rest. Baking soda, sea salt, caseinate, xanthan gum, and stevia. So, you know, the ingredients in this aren't the worst, but I probably wouldn't choose it as my first choice just due to the palm oil and the corn fiber that's in it. That was for the Quest cookie. The second item, the RX bar, its ingredients, they tell you right on the front of the package. It's egg whites, almonds, cashews, dates. And pretty much when you look on the back, it's egg whites, almonds, cashews, chocolate, natural flavor, sea salt, coconut. So what you have to consider here is the sugar that's in this, and this has a ton of sugar in my opinion. It has 18 grams of net carbohydrate in it. The sugar's all natural. It's all coming from those dates. A little bit of sugar from or a little bit of carb from the cashews, and that's fine. But I don't want to eat 18 grams of my carbohydrate amount that I allow myself of those 50 to eat a tiny little bar. This is not going to do anything for me. These taste all right. They're a little gummy in my mouth. They stick to my teeth. So I'm not really a huge fan of it, but if this was all that was available, this would probably be my a go-to for me. But like third on the list, maybe. Let's skip over the Quest bars. Let's go to this RX bar. So the ingredients in this RX bar, which is extensive. I always know that this is questionable when it has, 300 things on it. It has organic brown rice syrup, sugar, might as well say sugar. It has organic rolled oats, tons of carb. It has soy protein isolate, not whey protein isolate. It has organic cane syrup, sugar. It has organic roasted soybeans. Soybeans, the way that they're harvested with the glyphosate and stuff, I probably wouldn't choose this bar either for that purpose alone. It has rice flour, might as well say carbohydrate, which converts to sugar, which converts to fat. Cane sugar, unsweetened chocolate cocoa, organic soy flour, again soy, organic high oleic sunflower oil, a very highly processed oil, which I don't want to eat, organic oat fiber, alkalized coconut, natural flavors, a bunch of chemicals, blah blah blah. This would be, if I were really starving, I might eat this bar. It is tasty. I'll be the first person to admit it. But with 44 grams of total carbohydrates and something like 38 grams of net carb, I'm not eating this bar ever. It's just not a healthy bar for me to eat. Then we go to the Quest bar, and the Quest bar's ingredients are a protein blend, whey protein isolate, check. It has soluble corn fiber. Not happy about that, but it's not the worst. Almonds, water, unsweetened chocolate, erythritol, natural flavors, cocoa butter, and has sea salt, sunflower lecithin, which is a binder, stevia sweetener, and sucralose. The fact that it has sucralose in it doesn't thrill me. But if I'm choosing between the cookie, the RX bar, the Quest bars, and the Cliff bar, I'm gonna go in this order. Quest bar first, probably and then the Quest cookie, then the RX bar, and then the Cliff bar. Now, there's a ton of bars out there. Read the labels. You know, a lot of them, you have to make up your decision what you're going to do. First protein, then carbs, is kind of the way, and then what the ingredients are is pretty much my go-to in terms of what I'm willing to eat and what I'm not willing to eat. You have to do you, and you got to figure out what that combination is that you're willing to stick to. So for me, total calorie count, I would prefer to keep it under 200 calories. Point number 2, the protein count, I'd prefer to be 20 or above. Point number 3, carb count. I'd prefer it to be less than 7 carbohydrates. And point number 4 is, what are the ingredients? I would prefer it to have whey isolate protein. I would prefer it to not have a ton of chemicals, and I would prefer it to not have things like corn syrup and corn flour, cane sugar, and things of those nature that are going to raise the carbohydrate count, oats, things like that. They're just going to raise the carbohydrate count, and it's not good for me in terms of keeping my weight under control. These were my top tips. The other tips I'm going to say is, when it's a beautiful day out, get out, enjoy it, walk, have a good day, and take a good bar with you to either snack on or use as a meal so that you're not running hungry when you're out for the day. And I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, please smash the like button and hit the subscribe button for me, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Oh, in the meantime, go and watch my other videos. I've got other videos out there right now. Not a lot of them, but hopefully enough to get you started if you're considering bariatric surgery. Again, my name is Valerie, and I'm with VSG Trek, and I'll see ya when I see ya. All these words that just mean sugar, 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 sugar. I got a hike to finish.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together, it's so beautiful, you and